In. Okay, I think it's working great. So now we're live on YouTube as well as Twitch. Okay, almost there. Great. Okay, cool. So now you can ask your questions on YouTube, on Community Coders, or on my Twitch on how to software engineer. And yeah, either way, send your questions and I'm happy to help. Okay, so what we're doing is so I had a conversation about this issue with collapse and had some really useful advice. So again, it's a good suggestion to hang on, my headphones aren't even on. Yeah, if you get stuff like that, ask for help because you're gonna be able to get it. So yeah, the only thing I'm considering right now is, so I'll explain to you what the problem was. So we have this model, and you can find more information about how this works in this page here in the view docs. So if you give it this, like we have in our case, we have prop visible and event input. This it's the equivalent of doing this, right? Of saying this is the model that it should be on. Yeah, I don't know if that doesn't make sense. Let me know, but I'm not gonna stay on it too long. But this is the equivalent of essentially saying, like, in big collapse, we want to have like the V model should be visible, and the value of it should change on input. Yeah, so that's what this is doing. And the funny thing is, because we didn't list out the props, it was unaware that the component view was unaware that visible was supposed to be like a prop rather than just another HTML attribute. So what we've done is we've added to the props list. This is copied from another section. I'm not sure that's relevant. And so we have our props. We have one prop. It's called visible. And what we're doing is, instead of passing it on like we do here, so this is like bind all of the attributes to the child as if to the parent, from the parent to the child. What we're doing is explicitly saying we're going to pass visible as a prop. We know it's a prop because it's got the semicolon, the colon, and we're passing it visible. Otherwise it automatically adds it and it thinks it's a HTML property. That's where our mistake is coming from. So we're not actually going to do any changes to GitLab.com. We're going to change GitLab UI, and that will solve our problem. Now the error that we're getting, I'll show you. It's another interesting, useful thing. I don't know why this has changed. We'll revert that. So what we were trying to do is here where we say v GitLab collapse toggle collapse. This is using the toggle directive. I can show you what it looks like. Yeah, so it's directly from Bootstrap, and it's what it's doing is, like, when you say dot something, you're giving it the ID. So we're going to toggle the collapse on and off, and the ID that we're looking for specifically is this one. So because this isn't working, we might remove it. We'll leave it as it is at the moment. We'll make another issue to say it's not working. I think that's the best way to do it, because yeah, otherwise this is just going to spiral out of control. So we're going to revert this change. I don't know why it's still here. This is our only change now. We're adding props and we're explicitly passing visible. So now we should be able to see in our storybook locally. I can't remember what the address is. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Okay. So what we want to do is take some screenshots for the merge request, and to make sure it's working the way we want it to. So collapse. This is the problem I was going to show you. This doesn't work, but this does. And so I was asking my colleague, and the reason for it is because of how Storybook works. So here, Storybook is controlling the props that are input into this display, but also the component that's being displayed is also trying to control itself, and that doesn't work properly. It's broken a few things. But yeah, we're not going to fix it today. So what we are going to fix, or what we have fixed, should be, is if we inspect, we should get, we would expect to see on this, I think it's this div that was being hidden. This was the one that was saying visible, and now it's not now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of this, and then we're going to duplicate the screenshot in without the changes. So just to make sure that our changes do work. So what I'm going to do is I'll stash my changes. So I'll do git stash. I also need to open a new branch. Sure, fine, fair enough. So now you can see, here it is already. You can see visible. And that is what we're trying to avoid. Okay. So, now we know that it works. So we're going to check out a branch. I'm going to use the same branch name that it suggests for this issue. If we can find this issue. I lost it before. I think this is my issue board. No, I just saved it. Here it is, the planning issue. And we're looking at accessibility problems, and we're looking at label is equal to workflow ready. Ready for development. This is the list that we're working from. That's the thing we first looked at. This is what we're working on now. So I'm going to change this to be assigned to me and in progress. Workflow in progress. Why is this? What's happened here? Workflow in progress. Strange. In dev. That's what we want. In dev. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the branch name here. I'm going to use it in GitLab UI. It's not quite right, but it's fine. I don't think it matters. So we're going to do git checkout b branch name. Okay, now on the branch name, we're going to get our changes back. Git stash pop. Here are our changes. And we're just going to make sure one more time that this is accurate. So here's our div, and you can see that it's not got visible. Great. And so we're going to submit our changes now. Okay, this is important. So on GitLab UI, we need to be a lot more careful about our commit messages. And we're using conventional commits. The thing we're going to, so if we go to GitLab UI, we can find the instructions in the README, but what I really want is I want to look at the merge requests and see the previous ones. It's way easier, or even like commit messages. Yeah, commit. Cool. So we're going to say fix, and then we're going to put the name of what we're fixing, and then what it is we've done to fix it. So we're going to say fix. With a capital, I think. No capital. Fix collapse, and then colon, and then what we did is what we did is we fixed the prop that is visible. We're going to say explicitly pass visible prop. You would have thought the amount of times I wrote visibly today, I'd be able to spell it explicit. Why doesn't spell check work in the commit messages? Okay. Explicitly pass visible prop. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Why is this saying I've got an unsaved change? I don't want this. I'm also going to try to clean up this bit. Close all others. Don't save it. Alright. So we're going to commit our change. We've got the right commit message. Does the first thing after here need to be capitalized? No. I think that'll be fine. So now we can push, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a merge request on GitLab UI instead of on GitLab. We're using the same process. I'm also on the community branch for GitLab UI, so I have the same experience that you do. So you should be able to do exactly what I just done and what I just did, and have a similar result. Okay, so our screenshots, we want a table with before and after. I don't know which is which, so we're just going to fix it in a second. This is after, it doesn't have visible, and then so this one must be correct. Great. So now we have visible and we have not visible. Perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to explain what this MR does. I don't want to just say the same thing again. So what I'm saying is, so here I want to be like as concise as possible, but also as like, I want people to understand it, and I want people to be able to read it and understand really quickly. So that's why I'm taking a little bit of time here. This is a really important thing to do. It's hard to learn. So what does this MR do? Is it fixes bug where visible prop is read as a HTML element attribute. I think that's all we need to say. Yeah, that's all. Integration merge request. I don't understand how this works very well. I don't know if it's something I'm supposed to do or something that the reviewer does. So, okay, so it does conform to review guidelines. I read them already, and contributing changes. I read them already. One of the things you need to be careful here is this commit message. This doesn't change anything on the UX, doesn't change anything on the documentation. This doesn't fix anything. We do need to add this. We need to add a label that says which component we're changing, which is collapse. Okay. Maybe we don't have one because we don't really use it. It just wraps Bootstrap. So if we look at component collapse, no, it doesn't have one. That's fine. Okay. If applicable, I see. Not applicable. It's not a security concern, and this is fixing the accessibility. We're all fine. Great. Create a merge request. I just want to make sure. Do we need to add anything else? We've got why it does it. We've got the screenshots. This isn't a draft. It's ready to go. Create the merge request. And then, so now in our merge request, it's going to take a little bit to build it, but it's going to give us a suggested reviewer, and we're just going to go ahead and tag that reviewer. I also want to link this to the issue. I'm not sure how to do that because they're across repos, but what I will do is I'm just going to put a link to each of them. I need to close some of this shit. Here we go. Resolves this issue. And then on the I'm going to link this MR to the issue as well. Oh, we already mentioned it, so all fine. Fine. I just want to make sure that they're somehow linked. So our pipeline's going to run. We're going to make sure our changes are correct. Yeah. So we're going to do our own merge review. It's very simple. It's fine. Our commit message is right. Our pipeline's running. Next, we're going to ask a reviewer. So and then we can assign a reviewer. You can't do this, but you also don't need to, so that's fine. You could also do it in your own projects, which is good to know. Yeah, I think that's all we need. We don't have any labels, so maybe component other. Is there something like that? It's not a new component. It's not a none. I'd really like other. No. We're gonna add some stuff. We're gonna get an error to say like there's no labels. I think we can say like bug. This is a user experience bug or accessibility bug. I don't know if that's just type bug, and then the bug type is maintenance. It's a maintenance bug, right? No, sorry. The type is bug, and then the bug type is availability, accessibility. I want UX general. Fine, I don't mind. All right, cool, and that's done. So we're going to wait for it to run. In the meantime, we're going to come back to this this issue. So the process with GitLab UI, the way it's going to work is I'm going to get this merged. Once it's merged, I will comment on this on the issue again and say it was resolved with this, and I'm going to attach a screenshot to show that it's resolved in production. But in the meantime, so now we're going to start working again on this one. So I'm going to close GitLab UI. We're going to go back to GitLab. So I'm using Project Manager here. It's just an extension that shows you shortcuts to your different projects. Nothing so exciting. Just going to remove structure, and then we'll do GTK start and make sure that our GTK is running. I need a quick toilet break, so I'm gonna just take a super quick break. I don't know how streamers normally do this, so please give me some feedback, give me some comments. There's not many people watching, so if you have ideas, suggestions, please let me know. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so we'll make sure that GTK is running. Yeah, again, I'm just been new to streaming, so if you have any suggestions, please let me know. So we're going to close all this stuff that we're not using. Yeah, this is what we're going to address. Here's where we're going to get the next issue. We'll leave this open. And great. Okay, so what we need to do is recreate this issue in the GTK, and because I think it's specific to this section here, like this focus section, we're going to make sure it works. We're going to change our code so that it's visible, right? And the way I'm going to do that is I just wrote a merge request with this information in it, this one. So I'm going to follow the how to set up and validate locally from here. Alright, well, at least GitLab's working. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is change this page. We're going to change this line. Logged in. So somewhere here there's a if showed trial. This one. Oh, what a mess. Okay, fine. And then we also need to change here. Which, yeah, if you're confused about it, you can see the last video. It shouldn't have these 3 dots. I'm going to fix that. It was a mistake on the one I copied. Okay. Shit, what's it called again? This one, trial status widget. So in trial status widget, we're going to replace all of these injections. Cool. So now we should see ultimate trial. So what I want to do is focus on this, and then I want to open a menu. Okay, good, that worked. Focus, menu. Great. So what I'm going to do is recording. And I'm going to show that this is resolved. And then we're just going to comment that on the issue. And I don't think we probably need to do anything. Okay, so recording. And we're just going to show that it works on everything else as well. That's all. Okay. This is the issue we're actually working on. I don't know why I closed it again. Alright, well, I'm going to assign it to myself, and then I'm going to comment to Jeremy. That's enough information because I think it's enough information because we're going to have the screen recording. So I specifically tested, come on, this on with the ultimate trial, I don't know, section, showing because that is what the original had. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do on here, so we're just gonna again pick up another issue. Okay, so we've done these first two. This one we're gonna, I know we just changed it to in development, but what we're gonna change it to now is in review, because that's where it's at. So it'll automatically take off the old one, right? Don't need this open now. Okay, so we're going to keep going through these. So navigation, evaluation, improve empty state, text contrast for pinned items. All right, great. So 1 month ago, so it's recent, empty state text will fall in a few themes, 6 of 8. Learn more. Okay, I would like to learn more. Okay. What? Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and write me a question on Twitch or on YouTube. I'll see either one. So in 6 out of 10 themes, I think that's what it means. Yeah, so here are the themes and what it looks like. So the text needs to have a contrast, values exception, the values are really close. Yeah, so I don't know why this is closed, but oh, this is for pinned items and this is for empty state. Cool. So the solution is to add mix, blend, multiply to the text to make it compliant in all light themes. Okay. I really don't understand this very well. We're gonna read through the comments and see if we can work it out. Okay, so Scott moved it to ready for development, sorry. Scott's made a comment, since there is a multiple instance of, I don't know what this is supposed to be, and more expected to be added. Selector, mix, blend, mode, multiply, and GL dark. Should this be abstracted to a utility class even within the super sidebar? Okay, so my understanding here is what Scott is suggesting is because this happens a bit, maybe we can solve it everywhere all at once. So he mentioned this here. Okay, so this is the same problem, insufficient contrast. As Scott is saying, this is another instance, so maybe we can combine them all into one util. Great. So alright, we can try this, I guess. We can make a util, why not? That's the thing we can do, I guess. Let's have a think about it. So we have the super sidebar dot SCSS. No, we haven't. Okay, the only changes we've made is so we can see the, and this isn't needed, so we're going to get rid of them. Okay. Right, and we'll close others to make it a bit easier for us to read. So in the super sidebar, so this covers everything in the super sidebar. So my understanding of the suggestion is, could we apply this to multiple sections? So what we want to do is we want to add mix blend multiply to all of the different types of light settings. And what Scott is suggesting is we say like, okay, for normally we do everything in mix blend mode multiply, but for if it also has GitLab dark, then we change it to mix blend mode screen. I don't know what these are or what they do, so we can find that out. So it sets how an element's content should blend with the content of the element's parent and the element background. Oh, jeez. Okay. What is screen? Can I change this? Huh. Okay. Well, we don't really need to know this. We just need to apply this onto all of our text. And since there's multiple instances and more to be added here, what we want to find out is like, what is the selector that we need to add? And is this anywhere in our code currently? Let's have a look. Okay, so here we have within the brand logo or default tertiary or user bar button, we have an icon, and the mix blend mode should be a variable super sidebar user bar icon blend mix mode. Shit. How do we find the definition of that? Yeah, great. All right. So maybe what we could do is add this here for like dark mode. And Scott has made a change here 3 days ago. Now I want to have a look at this this MR. Okay, so it's just merged and it's done a bunch of things. So I want to see, does this, yeah, it was only just merged yesterday. So I want to see, does this fix our problem of pinned items? Let's see. So none of these are specifically on pinned items, but let's see. Let's work it out. Okay, so I definitely want to make sure I'm up to date on master. I did that earlier, but I'm just going to make sure again. Pull the latest changes, because I don't want to not have this MR. Now for pinned items, what I want to do is go into a project. Is this menu is different in the project or in a group? Obviously, since I updated master, I need to run the migration. Okay. We can also check on gitlab.com. So I'll change my preferences to be light mode. And I'm going to save the changes. So here are my pinned. Oh, this is still in dark mode. Okay, so here is pinned. And what I want to know is where it says your pinned items will appear here. This text. What is, so on this text, I want to make sure that the mixed blend something, so we can do computed. Okay, I can't see that specifically. Mix, blend, multiply. So what I want to see is if we add this, where do we need to add it to? So we could try add it. I think it's mode. Yeah. Oh, I can't see any visible difference. But I don't know. Nah, I don't think that makes any difference. Let's see what if we do it for other ones. Yeah, okay, so it is making a difference. It's just if we do the suggested, which is multiply, it's the same as the normal. So maybe it doesn't need to be changed. Here it is. Okay, so if we don't have it, mix, blend mode, normal. Okay, so maybe it's a problem in other colors. Let's try light green. Save it. Back and refresh. So pinned items. So if we open this section here, and then what we want to do is we want to change the mix blend mode. We want to change it to multiply. And we can check to see, does this make a difference? Oh, it is making a difference now. That's cool. Alright, great. So it is adding a bit more contrast, which is what we want. So I think it's as expected. What we need to know now is how do we add this to a bunch of places at once? So this is so I want to know a few things. One is like where is this coming from, and also where else does Scott mean we should put this. Another example of in the super sidebar, maybe best to combine all into a util. Okay, and so this should be abstracted to a utility class, so we can add a utility class on you can make a utility class on GitLab UI and then just like include it, or like mention in the code every time we need it. Just add it as a another class, or within the super sidebar SCSS since its behavior is related to variability in color schemes mostly. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to decide, do we want to make a new CSS utility class that we can add to this kind of text, or sorry, lost my train of thought. Now I can't. What's happening? My Bluetooth isn't working. I think I accidentally turned off my Bluetooth. Sorry. That's very strange. It'll just be a second. Huh, maybe my Bluetooth just dropped. Strange. Okay. That's fine. Alright, so we want to decide, are we going to make a new utility class in GitLab UI, or are we going to add it just to the SCSS? So let's try add it to just SCSS and try to understand what would that mean here. So here are a lot of variables. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just looking for something that's similar. So this include, you know, if we made it a utility class, we can just say include whatever, which would be good. I think it makes sense, and I'm just going to make sure that this would work. So so I want to know where this was mentioned. So I'm going to look in this MR for this issue. Oh, I don't know where it was mentioned. Yeah, so I can find it on the page, but I think it's in one of these replies. Excuse me, sorry. Did I mention this? Oh, here we go. Great. Okay. Cool. I had a comment, so let me know what you think. I'm keen to resolve the icon for nav items. But would benefit testing in isolation. You know, I think we might just ask Scott on this before we move forward. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask if he would like to do this, or if someone else, and I won't have an answer till tomorrow because Scott's in Australia and I'm in Berlin. So yeah, we're gonna leave this comment and we'll come back to it. Was this the other one that he mentioned? Okay, and this, it's not a very useful comment. And this is a really important thing in working at GitLab, or working on GitLab, or probably any open source project really, is this communication, because there's such a long gap between when you send a message and when you receive a message, especially in this case because of time zones. It's going to be at least till tomorrow. So what I want to do is make sure that he has all the information that I can possibly give him, so that he can make an answer, decide easily and thoroughly. Because if I say this and he's like, "Oh no, you're right, but you do it," I'll then need to say like, "Okay, but what did you mean? How do I do this? Because this is a bit odd, right?" So, what I think we could do is just add a like if we had a class name, we could just be like mix mode, whatever, multiply. But I don't know how mix blend mode means and like what the naming should be. So I might ask in here as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask. I want to put this in code, and I just want to have another read through of here to be like, if it was going to go somewhere, where would it go? So on this section that we have a problem with, if we inspect it, we can see what else is here. So we have like GL text secondary. Like, is it the rule that in anything with GL text secondary, if it's light mode, we should be using multiply, and if it's excuse me, if it's dark mode, we should be using something else. I don't know. on we just had it onto something like So this will be in code. Alright, didn't work the way I expected it to. So yeah, okay, so that's a much better question. There's a lot more for Scott to go back on. I'm not waiting for one answer. I can ask a few questions and then he can decide whether he's going to do it or I can do it. So, and if I'm going to do it, I said, yeah, again, ask any questions if you want. But I'm going to leave it the way it is, like that. Cool. Thanks for joining. I'm going to have a quick break before my team meeting. But yeah, I'd love any feedback you got, so send me through any questions. Thanks a lot.